Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me again is Sara Gibb. Sara is a professional bookkeeper who loves to help others do what they love to do by providing focus, clarity, and business support services. Born in Nanaimo, British Columbia, and currently residing in the beautiful town of Chemainus, British Columbia, she is a bookkeeper for the last 13 years. Sage Software has been her number one choice and go-to for all of her bookkeeping needs. Experienced in numerous industries such as construction, franchise, retail, and restaurant, she not only understands the complex but sometimes difficult tasks of business budgeting, hiring, software application, but also the overall day-to-day issues and obstacles encountered by businesses everywhere. Thanks so much again for appearing on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast. Sara Gibb, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again, Ed. It's nice to chat with you and catch up.
Well, Sara, we asked this to everyone. Why do you do what you do?
I just love helping people, and I love the relationships that I build with my clients. They become like friends and family, and I love numbers, and I love helping people. And I think that's a lot of what bookkeepers do is they help their clients.
And tell me about your full transition to the cloud. Last time we spoke, you're sort of like halfway there, and now you're fully committed, all over in the cloud.
Yeah, and this is a weird thing to say, but I think I owe this to COVID hitting. When COVID hit, it really forced me to make that final push to being 100% cloud, and being remote, and finding ways to get all my clients to send documents to me electronically. And now I have a team too. I have one person. I'm in British Columbia. She's in Alberta, and she works for me. We're able to do everything we need to do within the cloud, and it's been a wonderful transition. And as bad as COVID has been, I'm kind of a tiny bit grateful because it was the kick in the butt I needed to push me to go final cloud. And I'm super excited because now Sage Cloud Payroll is coming out, and now I'm definitely for sure off of all desktop, because now I'm making the final push of getting all those last little bits of payroll now in the cloud, which is super nice. The clients are going to be able to access pay stubs when they need to. Their employees are going to access pay stubs. If somebody loses a pay stub or a T4, they don't have to bug me for it. They can just log in and pull it and print it themselves. It's great. When COVID hit, I closed my office in town and we renovated a spot in my home. And the transition has just been wonderful. It's such a stress reliever. I have, nearly 70 clients, and it's just, I don't know I could do I definitely know I couldn't do all of this with desktop. There's no way. And have support working remotely. Everybody works from their home, and we have our weekly team meetings through Teams or Zoom. I communicate with clients either by phone, and I do a lot of Zoom meetings too. Zoom fatigue is a real thing. So I have to make sure that I stretch my meetings out throughout the week so that I'm not doing meeting after meeting after meeting on Zoom. But yeah, it's been nice.
Did anybody not come with you? Did anybody say, no, Sara, sorry, I gotta stay here on desktop? No way I can make a transition.
Surprisingly, no. There was a couple clients that I thought they're going to be not liking this. And in the beginning, I had a couple clients fight me because I didn't want to drive to go pick up. And this is when we were in lockdown back in 2020. I didn't want to drive and go pick up documents, and they're 45 minutes away, and they kind of grumbled. And then once they got on auto entry, they sent me an email and apologizing. I don't know why I waited so long. I don't know why I thought this. This is great. I just sat at my kitchen table and I hammered it all out in an hour, and now you have everything and you can go on your way. And there was no, any, physical contact or anything. I think the downside is definitely a little bit of I do like seeing my clients and chatting with them. I miss that a little bit, but for the most part, they've all been really great with the transition. Even the ones that aren't computer techie have picked it up so easy. Just easy to take a picture and easy to log into cloud. A lot of them do their own invoicing now, which is taking another thing off of my plate from allowing me to focus on other areas of their business. They go into the cloud and they do their own invoicing. They can pull their own reports. They're just loving. Everybody's just loving it. There's no negative feedback that comes back from any of my clients, and all of them are super excited about payroll right now. So that's a last missing factor for me.
So would you say it was a pleasant surprise that there was less resistance than you thought there would be? Yes,
there was. I was very surprised. I was kind of like, and at the same time, you're thinking, am I going to lose clients? Is it going to be okay? Like, are they going to go somewhere else? But yeah, and I'm getting a lot of calls. The last 4 calls that I've had for referrals, one of them was desktop. And when I told them that I don't work in desktop anymore, they said, okay, we hung up, and they phoned me 2 days later and they said, we thought about it. We need to make this transition. Let's move to the cloud and work with you. Like even being upfront and holding my, stance right from the beginning. When people call me, I am a cloud bookkeeper. This is how I work. Everything's done remotely. If it doesn't work for you and your business, I can give you a referral, not a problem, no hard feelings or anything. Making sure that I'm making that stance up front is a big thing.
Is there anything that you can suggest with regard to building relationships remotely? I mean, certainly the customers that you had met IRL, as they say, it would be easier to transition to them and doing Zoom meetings. But what about the customers that you have gotten during COVID? Is there anything that you're doing to try to make sure that you are enhancing that relationship, even though you can't get face to face?
Yeah, open communication is a big one. I do have 3 or 4 clients that I've never physically met in person. And I've made the suggestion, but they're okay. We've had lengthy conversations. They understand making sure that I'm open with my background. An engagement letter is always a big one to have, because that tells them your level of professionalism right off the bat. From there, I try to do Zoom meetings as much as possible so that they can at least see my face and see that I'm a real person. So it's a bit harder, but you want to make sure you keep that communication clear and open with them, because they hire you and then you've never met them, but then you kind of disappear, or you take a week or 2 to reply to their email. It's going to make them think that you're okay. Who is this person? I don't really know them. They're not really responding to me. What kind of decision? What of a decision have I made here? So definitely keeping the communication up so that they can get that trust in you.
And Sarah, as you know, we have an exit question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero?
I have lots of people that I look up to and admire, and I think a big person that I owe a lot to for helping me along in this journey is definitely Rachel Fish. She's been a huge supporter, and she's been a good dear friend and a mentor over the years, and I owe a lot to her for helping me nudge in the right direction over the years. So yeah.
And lastly, Sarah, how can somebody contact you?
There's lots of ways. There's email. I have a LinkedIn profile, and there's Twitter, Facebook, social media. I'm pretty active on social media, but I'm definitely not like, if you message me on social media, I'm going to respond within half an hour, maybe. But email would be, if you need a fast response, email is the best way.
All right. And what's that email address?
It's just Sara, Sara, at flow-works.ca.
All right, Sara Gibb, thanks so much for being a guest once again on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Thanks, Ed.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.